The infinite void of the null realm stretched out endlessly, a dark canvas waiting to be painted with the light of destruction. Floating amidst the nothingness, a colossal arena of cracked Kachin stone served as the final battleground. The air was thick and heavy, vibrating with a pressure so intense that it made the skin of even seasoned warriors crawl. Goku stood on the edge of a crater, his breathing ragged and shallow as he clutched his bruised left arm. Beside him, Vegeta wiped a streak of blood from his cheek. His eyes narrowed in a mixture of calculation and pure, unadulterated rage. Hovering 50 feet above them was Real, the god of destruction of Universe 8, looking down like a king inspecting unruly subjects. Real's aura was not raging but calm, a terrifying purple shroud that whispered of absolute erasure. He spoke softly, his voice echoing in the vacuum, mocking the Scions for believing they could challenge the hierarchy of the cosmos. Real remarked that while they had defeated mortals like Jiren, they had never truly tasted the despair of fighting a serious deity. Vegeta scoffed loudly, spitting blood onto the ground, declaring that he bowed to no one, God or otherwise. In a blur of motion, Vegeta launched himself into the sky, transforming instantly into Super Saiyan Blue. The shockwave of his takeoff shattered the ground beneath him, turning solid rock into fine dust. Goku followed immediately, layering his Kaioken X-20 on top of Blue, his aura screaming red and blue. They attacked Real from opposite sides, a coordinated assault honed by decades of rivalry and partnership. Vegeta threw a flurry of punches at Real's face, each one capable of destroying him. Yet, Real blocked every strike with a single finger, looking bored and unimpressed by the ferocity. Goku swept low, aiming a kick at Real's midsection, hoping to catch the god off guard. Real didn't even look down. He simply shifted his knee, checking the kick with a bone-shattering impact. With a lazy flick of his wrist, Real sent a pulse of Hawkeye energy slamming into Vegeta's chest. The Prince of Science was hurled backward, crashing through 3 pillars of stone before skidding to a halt. Goku screamed and fired a point-blank Kamehameha, the blue beam engulfing the god of destruction. Smoke billowed outward, momentarily obscuring the target, giving Goku a fleeting distinct hope. But as the smoke cleared, Real stood completely unscathed, not a speck of dust on his golden collar. Real sighed, expressing his disappointment that this was all the legendary Scions had to offer. He vanished from sight, moving faster than the speed of light, reappearing directly behind Goku. Before Goku could sense the key, Real delivered a chopping blow to the back of his neck. The force of the blow sent Goku plummeting like a meteor, smashing a deep trench into the arena floor. Vegeta roared, forcing himself back up, his pride refusing to let him stay down while Kakarot fell. He channeled all his energy into a final flash, the yellow beam lighting up the darkness of the void. Real simply opened his mouth and roared, the sonic force of his voice dissipating the energy beam instantly. The god descended slowly, landing between the 2 fallen warriors, his eyes glowing with a sinister yellow light. He explained that destruction is not just power, but a fundamental force of existence that they could not comprehend. Real raised both hands, summoning small orbs of destruction energy that danced on his fingertips. He flicked them casually, and the orbs expanded, hunting the Scions like sentient predators. Goku and Vegeta were forced to dodge frantically, the explosions nipping at their heels and searing their skin. They regrouped back to back, breathing heavily, their stamina draining rapidly against an opponent who wasn't even trying. Goku looked at Vegeta and whispered that their current level was useless. They needed to break their limits. Vegeta grit his teeth, acknowledging the truth, his mind diving deep into his own ego and desire for destruction. Goku closed his eyes, quieting his heart, letting go of fear, anger, and thought. The atmosphere suddenly changed, the heavy pressure lifting as a column of heat rose from Goku. A galaxy of silver light exploded around him, his hair shimmering as he entered the state of true Ultra Instinct. Simultaneously, a pillar of dark purple flame erupted from Vegeta, his eyebrows vanishing as he embraced Ultra Ego. Real's eyes widened slightly, a spark of genuine interest finally appearing on his stoic face. Goku moved first, his speed now transcending time, appearing in front of Real instantly. He landed a solid punch to Real's cheek, the shockwave finally pushing the god's head back. Real stumbled, surprised, but was immediately met by Vegeta, who caught him with a savage knee to the chin. The dual assault began in earnest, a beautiful chaos of silver precision and purple savagery. Goku dodged attacks before they were even launched, his body reacting autonomously to every threat. Vegeta took the hits willingly, his power growing with every ounce of damage he sustained, laughing maniacally. They were pushing Real back, forcing the god to actually use his hands to defend himself. Real growled, his pride stung by the fact that mortals were landing blows on his divine body. He flared his aura, the purple energy turning darker, almost black, as he tapped into his full destroyer power. The arena began to disintegrate just from his presence, gravity increasing 100-fold. Real caught Goku's fist and Vegeta's kick simultaneously, his grip crushing their bones. He spun them around and slammed their heads together, the impact sounding like a thunderclap. Before they could recover, Real unleashed a barrage of energy spears that pierced through their defenses. Goku and Vegeta fell to the ground, their transformations flickering, their bodies pushed beyond the breaking point. Real floated above them, charging a massive sphere of Hakai, the size of a small sun. He declared that the game was over and that Universe 7 would be searching for new candidates for Destroyer Gods. Vegeta looked at Goku, seeing the determination still burning in his rival's silver eyes. Goku smiled weakly, reaching into his pocket to reveal he had nothing left. No beans, no tricks. Vegeta cursed under his breath, realizing there was only one option left, a technique he despised. He grabbed Goku's shoulder, pulling him up, and demanded they do the fusion dance immediately. Goku's eyes lit up with surprise and relief, nodding vigorously as they staggered to their feet. Real watched them, confused by their sudden change in stance, delaying his attack out of curiosity. The two Scions aligned their ki, their movements mirroring each other perfectly despite their injuries. They shouted Fu Xian Han in perfect unison, their fingers touching at the exact precise moment. A blinding flash of golden light consumed the arena, forcing Real to shield his eyes for the first time. The energy ball Real was holding was blown away by the sheer force of the wind generated by the fusion. From the light stepped a warrior clad in a Metamoran vest, his power feeling limitless and profound. Gogeta cracked his neck, the sound echoing loudly, and smirked with a confidence that shook the heavens. He didn't bother with base form. He instantly ignited a golden aura, then shattered it to reveal Super Saiyan Blue. But this blue was different. It was deeper, richer, and laced with the sparkles of divine evolution. Real snarled, sensing a threat that actually made his instinct scream danger. The god of destruction launched his massive Hakai sphere, screaming for the Scion to perish. Gogeta stood his ground, raising one hand and catching the sun-sized sphere with effortless grace. With a grunt, he crushed the energy ball in his palm, turning it into harmless sparks of light. Real froze, fear creeping into his heart as he realized the scales had tipped irrevocably. Gogeta vanished, reappearing nose to nose with the god, his eyes piercing through Real's soul. A punch to the gut doubled Real over, the force expelling saliva and air from his lungs. Gogeta followed with a spinning kick that sent Real crashing through the entire width of the floating arena. The fusion warrior pursued, raining down blows that looked like beams of light, too fast to count. Real tried to counter with a sphere of destruction, but Gogeta simply kicked it into the sky. Gogeta mocked the god, asking if this was all the power a destroyer of Universe 8 could muster. Enraged, Real gathered every ounce of his energy, his body swelling as he prepared a suicide attack to erase everything. The void began to crack, purple fissures appearing in the reality around them. Gogeta's expression turned serious, realizing he had to end this before the dimension collapsed. He raised his hands high, generating a swirling rainbow sphere of energy, the Stardust Breaker. The energy was beautiful yet terrifying, sparkling with the power to purify all evil. Real launched his final beam, a black ray of absolute death aimed at Gogeta's heart. Gogeta threw the Stardust Breaker, the sphere cutting through the black beam like a hot knife through butter. The rainbow energy struck Real directly in the chest, entering his body and illuminating him from the inside. Real froze, his dark energy dissipating as the purifier cleansed the malice from his ki. A massive, silent explosion of white light engulfed the sector, blinding the onlookers from afar. When the light faded, the arena was gone, replaced by drifting dust and debris. Real floated unconscious, his god of destruction attire tattered, defeated completely. Gogeta hovered above him, crossing his arms and letting out a breath he had been holding. The fusion timer ran out. In a puff of smoke, Goku and Vegeta separated, falling back to the debris. They bumped fists, too exhausted to speak, but knowing they had once again protected their world. High above, the Grand Priest watched from his palace, a small smile playing on his lips, intrigued by the mortals who surpassed gods.
We have to stop him, Vegeta!
I know, Kakarot!
Don't get in my way!
You're both going to lose! I won't let you win!
He's mine, Kakarot!
You're both going to disappear! You can't defeat me!
Come in!
I'll surpass you, Kakarot! Not if I can help it! Buu will destroy you!